All right, well, rumor confirmed. Now I actually saw the announcement from the Secretary of Education, and the Secretary of Education was basically saying that it's going back to the states. The federal Department of Education will be dissolved, and this means that the legislation that has to come out of the GOP is to dissolve the federally constructed teachers union, because it's a federal construction by legislation. There's no reason that should have ever happened. It really came from these elements within education that they're Marxists. Like this Charlotte Iserby did a whole book, and she found repeatedly that communists and Marxists who had infiltrated education going back to almost like, I think, the 1950s, that there's actual, like, there's a fucking communist flag in the class and this and that, and people going light on Joe Stalin, things like that. It's just, yeah. So what's interesting is immediately the way that black women most affected. Yes, black women most affected by it. Why? Because now the nursing is going to be recategorized. That all these different things that aren't doctors and surgeons, which are literally something like, when you go into medicine, these are either Pareto's distribution, the top 20%, or even more rare. Like, once you get to a variety of surgeons, this becomes exceedingly high skill. This is a very rarefied skill set. That's why Dr. Ben Carson was such a big deal. Anyway, all of this with, oh my God, they're saying it's an attack. It's an attack because mostly women hold it. How is it possible that this is a job category with all these different occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, blah, 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 all these different things? How is it that they're mostly women? It's not because women are the people who like caring, because most of the surgeons are men. No. Groups of women in medicine have made it such that you have to be in the girls' club. Nurses make this clear all the time on the internet, that there's this incredibly toxic nature. There's a bullying culture. There's clearly a culture of being openly sexist against men who want to go into nursing. Any man who has tried to go that route in their education has found that, like, no matter how smart, how talented they are, it's not happening. You need tits. And then it comes to this. Remember, a lot of these nurses, they believe in troon juice, and they believe in gender theory and stuff like that, it has no basis in objective scientific. It's not evidence based. The federal government has also just recently done that. You can't give troon juice to kids. There's no evidence. And there's nothing about this that has scientific basis. Gender doesn't have a scientific basis. Trooning kids out has no scientific basis. And it's alone the APA. Psychologists. Oh, another fascinating job that seems to be almost dominated by women. So, COVID. I don't know if I saw a nurse on social media that I've known personally. I've known about 10 or so, followed them for years. They didn't know what the fuck they were talking about when it came to COVID. They did not know what the fuck they were talking about. One, somebody like me saw the release of the information out of China. Well, it's a myth. You guys are racist. Then what's happening in China? I don't know, because I'm a female who doesn't really keep track of anything other than her personal interests. So I don't know what's happening in China. I don't know why there's all these viral videos all over the internet. Okay, well, so COVID shows up. Oh, so now it's no longer a myth. Now it's this. Now, oh, and then it becomes everybody's got to get the jab, even though clearly it wasn't tested. Because testing is 2 to 5 years. Mandatory. 2 to 5. Then they're like, oh, you got to give it to kids. The fucking female-dominated teachers union. Oh, people have vaccine hesitancy, clearly have psychological issues. What is happening here? Look at this. The gulls are... Gull Gang. Gull Gang's up to something this morning. I wonder what... That's so odd. They don't usually do this. I'm not sure what's going on. The crows are like cold chilling, like watching them. But this is... You're done. If you had just handled... Hey, guys. If you had just handled COVID as if you understood even the most basic science of viruses, then this wouldn't have happened. And then there's this. How many people know a nurse that you're like, dude, I grew up with her. She's not smart. She's totally of normal intelligence. You know, a lot of you just need to get, like, no, you were given inordinate advantage, and now you gotta work. Sorry.